Okay, sorry, I was saying that so slowly. I was trying to adjust my camera and stuff. So what's up? What's everybody doing? You'll notice that I'm working on a different painting tonight. So tonight I've got I brought back out my Chuck Pinson for Chuck Along 8 that started yesterday. And this is Country Blessings. And this is the painting that I started for March's Chuck Along. And I didn't finish it. I got about halfway through. So I broke it back out and I'm just showing you what I got finished in March. So I got, basically the bottom half is finished. And it's looking great. I'm absolutely loving it. It's definitely one of my favorite Pinsons. Definitely one of my favorite Chuck Pinsons that I have. Maybe it might be the favorite. Not, it might be, with the exception, you guys know how I feel, or maybe you don't remember how I feel about that rainbow up in the top right corner. But I'm going to edit that rainbow out. I just don't love it. I just don't love the rainbow. So I'm going to, when I get to that part, I'm just going to go with blue drills and just make it fade into the sky. I've never done anything like that in diamond painting before. You guys know that I'm a person who likes to follow directions. That's one of the things I love most about diamond painting is following instructions. So I don't usually take any creative liberties with my paintings. I don't bling them up or anything. And mostly that's because I'm not creative enough. But I don't bling them up or anything. But I am going to on this one. I just don't love that rainbow. So, and then I am, just in case Caden shows up tonight, I'm using a different pen tonight than my old standby, and I'm already regretting it. It's a great pen. It's a beautiful pen. It's this, I got this at the retreat. It's from Enablers Outpost, and and if you're looking at it, you might notice that it looks grayer on this end and kind of more pink on this end. Well, I've been diamond painting with it for a while tonight. I was diamond painting while I watched Mindy's live, and this is one of their color changing pens. So when it's cool, it's gray and silver. And then when you use it, it turns pink. So I was holding it on the multi-placer end. And so it turned pink because I was, applying heat. So, let me just say howdy to you all. See who's here hanging out with me on a Saturday night. Joe's here. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe, you mentioned in Mindy's live that you ordered two Craftably paintings that you've been wanting, and I was just wondering which two you got. Mary Lou's here. Hi, Mary Lou and Judy. Oh, Lori's here. Hi, Lori. So nice to see you. I don't usually get to see Lori in my lives. I chat with her on Instagram a lot, but I don't usually get to see her in my lives. Bethany's here. Hello, Bethany and Deborah. Yes, the Crochet Along Deborah is going. It went on and on and on and on. We just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. At about the 2.5 hour mark, I honestly didn't notice that we were on that long. And about the 2.5 hour mark, I looked at my clock and I was like, Mindy, do you realize what time it is? She's like, yeah, I realized it. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I was okay with that because I was procrastinating yesterday, and everybody knows why. Well, maybe you don't know, but I was procrastinating because I was supposed to be cleaning the house, and y'all know how I feel about performing any domestic tasks. Not good. I don't feel good about it. So I was trying to avoid my domestic tasks. Sherry's here. Hi, Sherry. And Catherine. Hello, Catherine and Sean. Linda. Hi, Linda and Emma. And Sherry, you haven't seen Caden in any chats for a long time. I've been wondering where he's been. Oh, you know what? Now that you mention it, I do remember seeing a post on Facebook. He's doing something. I don't know if he's working at a vendor that's at his county fair with some friends. What I gathered from the Facebook post. Now that you mention it, that rings a bell. Oh, couple 3 3 weeks, really, Joe. Yeah, I wonder what's up. Maybe he's busy with, I mean, he graduated, and now maybe he's out living life. Marianne's here, hi, and Karen, hello. Oh, you're new, well, welcome, Karen. Came from Mindy's life, cool. Sue's here, hi, Sue. Sue, did you survive yesterday with the Bambinos? Are you recovered? Dawn's here, and oh, Mindy said we're gonna do a clean along with me. Yeah, no. Oh, Tammy's here. Hi, Tammy. I'm so glad you're here. I might have to leave you guys for a second, run out to the living room because I have something I want to show Tammy. I was actually going to text you earlier. Yes, Marion, I should be getting ready for my party. Yeah, I wish everybody could come. Cat Diamond Sparkles, hi, how are you? Oh, you okay? So Joe, you got Dreamy Retreat and Moonlight in the Garden. I can't. I'll have to look those up because I can't think of what they are. I'm bad with the titles of paintings. Hi V, V's here. I'm great, Kat. How are you? Oh, Sue, you've been resting all day. Good, good. Oh, I can. Oh, yeah, Deborah, thank you. I can grab my other pen. Thank goodness. It's sitting right here, too. It's sitting right here. So Tammy had very, very generously, when she was moving, because she just made a cross-country move, had sent me a box of yarn that she didn't want to move with her. And I don't know, those of you who are into yarny things, crocheting, if you follow MJ's Off the Hook, but there's a big craze going on right now, and everybody's making these granny pop sweaters. And the pattern called for a 3-weight yarn. And so I was looking, and I wanted to make the sweater. So I was looking through my stash of yarn, and I don't have a lot of 3-weight in a sufficient enough quantity to make a sweater. And I was looking through the yarn that Tammy sent me and came across a yarn that I had never used before. And it was very pretty, and I thought, okay, I'll use this. It's a cotton acrylic yarn, which I thought that would be perfect for this time of year, you know, not super wintry, but, you know, good transition. It's a good transition material from summer to winter. So I started making this sweater, and this yarn is absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty. It's so, so pretty. So I want to show y'all what it looks like. And it's like my favorite color too, which is orange, as you know. But you know what? Maybe I'll have Nate grab it. Hold on, I'm going to yell. Nate! Oh, Mindy's here. Hi, Mindy. Doesn't the barn look awesome? Yeah, the barn is beautiful. I love the whole thing, and the tractor looks so good too, I think. Oh, the ducks need Mindy. Ooh, Dawn got a new dragonfly tattoo. Awesome. Awesome. Well, happy birthday, everybody. Let's tell Dawn happy birthday tomorrow. How old are you going to be? 21? If you're sitting in my chair, to the left of my chair on that table, there's a pink sweater. Will you bring me that? But it's attached to a ball of yarn, so bring the ball of yarn too so you don't unravel my sweater. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Brenda. Brenda, how are you feeling? I hope that you're recovering still or feeling better and better every day, I hope. So yeah, so I've been crocheting like a mad woman, and I've been making those parasols. I told you guys about the parasols. I have mine in here. I don't have it on the umbrella yet, attached to the umbrella yet, but I have the umbrellas, and I stretched it over it, and it is going to work out. It's a pink sweater on the table to the left of my chair. It's like pink and orange, and it's attached to a ball of yarn. But this is my parasol that I'm going to use for the Renaissance Festival that we're going to in a couple of weeks. So this will go over an umbrella, and it matches my dress for my Renaissance Festival outfit perfectly. So I made this one. This one took me 60 hours of work. 60 hours. But my daughter wants one and my niece wants one. So I'm halfway through the second one and about a third of way through the third one. And I needed a break from that. So I've been busy crocheting because, like I said, I'm on a time deadline to get those done because we're going to the festival soon. And so I haven't had much time for diamond painting. And I sat down tonight to diamond paint while I watched Mindy's live. And it was like, man, I miss this. I really miss just sitting in my craft room and relaxing and diamond painting. It's been, I haven't spent that much time lately doing it, and I definitely miss it. Oh, yes, that's it. Thank you very much. Well, not this. What, oh, you brought two things. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So this is the yarn. It's a Willow Yarns, which is sold by Hirschner's. It's called Rise, and the color is called Coral Reef. And when you look at it, I mean, it just looks pink with a little bit of orange in there. So I wasn't quite expecting what happened when I started working with it. So here's my sweater so far. I've got the whole body done, and I'm working on the first sleeve. But look at how gorgeous that is. It like ombres, and I love ombre yarn, and I love orange. And it just is looking so beautiful. And so I'm like about halfway done with the first sleeve. But I think it's so pretty. It's turning out so, it is really nice. And this is, he also brought in Maddie's parasol, the other one I'm working on. So these are Maddie's colors for her parasol. And I'm about that. So I'm probably a little bit more than halfway, but these are very time consuming. Very time consuming. And I think he unraveled it a little. Nope, he didn't. I still got my loop there. Okay, good. All right, now I got all this yarn in my way. But thank you, Tammy, for that yarn, because that's going to be a gorgeous sweater. I love it. Love it. All right, I missed some comments. Thank you. Yeah, Joe, it's a super intricate pattern. It's probably, and I love a good, I love a challenge when it comes to crocheting, and I love a good intricate challenging pattern. But I have to say that parasol pattern is the most difficult pattern I've ever done. And it's very stitch heavy, meaning there's not a lot of like open lacy work. It has a lot of stitches, and it is a yarn eater. I mean, it takes so much yarn. And it's a one weight yarn, which if you don't know about crochet or yarn, is a very fine yarn. So it's very thin too, which takes a lot longer to make anything of substance. As you know, I'm going to go back to this pen because my multi-placer isn't working that great. Hi, Tammy. How are you? Yeah, you know what, Kat? Thank you guys so much for all the compliments. It's learning to crochet is really easy. You actually don't even need a friend to teach you. There are so many great beginning YouTube videos. I learned how to crochet as a kid from my grandma, but it had been years and years, and I had, all but forgotten how to do it. So when I wanted to get back into it, I learned from YouTube videos, and it was, really yeah, super. Yeah, sure, Brenda. I'll show you guys when I'm dressed up for Renaissance. I'll show you my outfit. I have a picture This was from, I have it one on my phone. This was from 2 years ago. Hold on, let me see if I can, who did I send that picture to recently? I think I sent it to Jody. Speaking of which, I haven't seen Jody. Okay, we text a lot, so it might take me a second to find it. Dun dun dun. Oh, wait, here we go. Whoops. I went past. So this was 2 years ago, Nate and I at the Renaissance Festival. So that's, my dress and I have a brown leather corset and my little feathery hair thing. And then the dress goes all the way down and it has like some other colors in it. But yeah, I'll make sure that I take some more pictures this year when I have my parasol. For sure. Yeah, I know, I love that willow yarn is so nice, Tammy. I am definitely, in fact, I was on Hirschner's site earlier today looking at it because I want to get some more of that. And I especially like this rise or whatever it is. I guess it's 58% cotton, 42% acrylic. And I usually don't care for chain spun, but this is chain spun and it's very nice and it's really lightweight. It's perfect. I think it's going to be my favorite sweater ever. I'm looking for my drill color here and I'm having a hard time finding it. Does anybody see it? I'm looking for the little arrow to the top right. Not arrow, triangle, top right triangle. I can't find it anywhere. Where the heck are you? Top right triangle. Okay, oh, there it is. Okay. I was expecting it to be blue and it wasn't blue. Do you guys ever do that? Do you go kind of by color more so than by symbol? Like I thought the background color was, I noticed this a lot with this kit. Certain colors, it's not every color, but certain colors, see all these drills down here at the end of my tray? These drills are all stuck together. And I've been noticing it a lot with this kit. I have a lot of them of colors that the drills are stuck together. It's annoying. I have a grinder. I know that you don't need a grinder. There's lots of ways you can fix that, but I have a grinder and it works, so I use it. Oh, Mary, where do I get frames for the parasols? I just ordered, let me see if I have one real quick handy. Yeah, I do. I just ordered from Amazon. Oh, hold on, I'm caught up on something. A child's umbrella. So this is just any 29-inch umbrella, child's umbrella, but it can't be it can't be a foldable umbrella. You know what or like an expanding umbrella. It has to be one that's, the full length or whatever. And then what you do is I'll stretch it. So let me put this. Yes, I'm opening an umbrella inside. So what I'll do is I'll put the center. I left when I made my magic circle, I left it a little bit loose, and I'll stretch that over the center here. I'm trying to do this in the camera and it's not being, and then I'll take the ends and stretch them over the tips. And then tighten up the middle. And then obviously before I do that, I'll take this material off, and then I have extra of the thread, and I'll tie the mandala onto the support bars of the umbrella. You want a sweater, Sherry? Oh my gosh, I would love to make you one. They're super fun to make. They're really fun to make. Oh yes, Kat, I make blankets all the time, definitely. Yeah, Dawn, that was super nice of her. That's the second time she sent me yarn, and it's both times that she has sent me yarn, I have used it. The last time she sent me yarn, I made a gorgeous shawl with some wool from Knit Picks that she had sent me. Um, oh, hi, Anita. Hey, no problem. Aw, thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Aw, Brenda, you're so nice. Thank you, Sherry. Oh, that's the yarn you made a top out of, Mindy? I love it. It's really nice yarn. I'm definitely gonna use that again for sure. Oh no, Tammy, just dumped a whole tray of 310s. Maybe I should quit drinking my margarita. In honor of Jimmy Buffett. Yeah, let's all have a moment of silence for Jimmy Buffett. That's, he was not that old either. That's terrible that he passed away. No, but now you're taking things a little bit too far though, Tammy, by saying you're going to pour out your margarita. That's now you're just going too far. That's unacceptable. However, I am not having wine tonight. I'm not having wine or beer tonight, which I know, gasp, right? Because we have this big party tomorrow that is getting bigger by the minute, and I have not cleaned my house yet. And so I need to get my butt up very early tomorrow morning because I have to make my baked beans, I have to make potato salad, and I have to bake an apple crisp and clean my house, and the party starts at 4 p.m. So my plate is very, very full tomorrow. So I did not want to risk having too many glasses of wine and not feeling great in the morning. So I'm sticking with the Diet Coke tonight. Oh, Deborah, that's hilarious. Deborah said they have a Renaissance festival with two guy acne and puke and snot who are very rude to everyone. That's great. We actually have two Renaissance festivals in our state. Well, maybe they have other ones in other parts of the state, but in our general area, there's one out in the Thumb, which is exactly what you would imagine it to be. If Michigan's a mitten, it's in the Thumb part of Michigan. That's a smaller one, but very, very nice. We went to it for the first time this year. And then there's the big one in Holly, which is a nationally recognized Renaissance festival. And that one runs for 6 weeks. It starts, I think, the end of or middle of. It runs 2 weeks in August and then all of September. So we're probably going to go next weekend to that. Oh, Mary Lou, that would be awesome. That, you know what? I looked for wooden umbrellas on Amazon, and the problem that I had was I couldn't find one small enough because I wanted it to be. I mean, I could crochet something any size. You know what I mean? I could just keep expanding the mandala and make it bigger and bigger. But it's quite a crowded place, and I didn't want to have my parasol be so big that I was invading other people's personal space. I didn't want to be poking people's eyes out and stuff. So I wanted to stay on the smaller side. And so I couldn't find any children's umbrellas that had the wooden. But that would be very cool. That would be really nice. Hi Gail, I didn't say hi to you yet. When I did Mystery Fantasy Animal by Bridget Ashwood, I had lots of sticking drills. Yeah. Is it easier to teach yourself how to knit or crochet? Okay, Tammy, it is way in my you know what, you're gonna get varied opinions on this. I think that crochet is way easier than knitting. Um, but I've talked to primarily knitters who say the exact opposite. Um, you know, and really it's hard to say because knitting is essentially two stitches. You either do a knit stitch or a purl stitch. Now there's all different ways that you can arrange those stitches so to make, cables and different designs and whatnot. But as long as you know how to knit into purl, you pretty much know how to do it. Whereas with crochet, there are so many different stitches to learn. But I mean, I think crochet, I don't know. In crochet, you only have one hook as opposed to knitting, you have two needles, which I am not a very coordinated person. So it's easier for me. And especially I'm right-handed and I'm not very coordinated with my left hand. So it's easier for me to not have to try to do something with my left hand. But a lot of people think that knitting is easier than crochet. I don't. I'm not one of those people. I just can't. I've tried knitting. I mean, I can knit, but I don't enjoy it, and I'm not very good at it. And there's a lot of beautiful knitted things out there. Like I love the look of knit things, like knit sweaters and stuff. I love the look of. I just don't find it fun to do. I don't know. It's kind of boring to me. There's a lot more possibilities, I think, for creativity in crochet than there is in knitting. But I mean, I'm a diehard crocheter, so that's just my opinion. A knitter would probably argue otherwise, I'm sure. So I'm probably definitely biased. All right, good night, Sean. Hi, Peggy. How are you? Oh, thank you, Peggy. No, Tammy, you can never waste good alcohol. Definitely. Oh, whoa. And I've earned it. Been cleaning up after the monsoon that came through a couple of days ago. Our pool was a disaster. Oh man, that sucks. Yes, you definitely deserve it. Definitely. And that's the beauty of you can easily diamond paint and drink. Not so good when you like crochet and drink. Um, I've wound up with some serious tension issues when I've been drinking and crocheting. And some questionable color choices at times too. Hi Paula, how are you? Sorry I'm late. Neighbors have already started shooting off fireworks. Oh geez. 3 bad days for all the dogs. That's a shame. We had a dog. She was a Australian Shepherd, and for years I would have to stay home on the 4th of July because my in-laws have a big party at their house every year for the 4th of July. But for years I had to stay home with her because she was so frightened of fireworks, and I would have to just basically just snuggle her the whole time because she was just petrified of fireworks. And people don't I mean, a lot of people don't take um they're not considerate. Like they'll keep shooting them off until like 1 o'clock in the morning, and they're just I don't know. It's just not very considerate in my opinion. So yeah, I could do without fireworks. Now my family, Nate and Jeff, they love fireworks. They like to, at my in-laws party, they always help put together a big fireworks display, and they love lighting them off and putting them together and all that stuff, but I could take them or leave them. But I didn't realize that this holiday would be a big one for fireworks. See, here in Michigan, and actually, I don't know if this is a statewide law or if it's a local ordinance, but you can have fireworks are legal, but only like the 2 days surrounding the 4th of July holiday, not at any other time of the year. So it wouldn't even be legal for them to be shooting them off now in where we live. But like I said, I don't know if that's statewide or if it's local. Jody, there she is. Jody is here. See, Anita says knitting's easier. Yep. Oh, I know. Jody knits English style. So she has the yarn in her right hand. See, I would have a hard time with that being a crocheter because I'm so used to having the yarn on my left. Someone I was talking to at one of the yarn stores was saying that people who crochet often, if they become knitter, if they start knitting, they crochet or they knit in the continental style, in which case I guess you have the yarn on your left. Um, but I don't know. Like I don't know that much about it. Pretty much talking out my ass right now. Oh, Catherine, you knit and you can't crochet, huh? Oh, right, Jody. Yes, Jody says it's way easier to fix mistakes with crochet. That's definitely the truth. Definitely the truth. Um, with crochet, you can just add a stitch or skip a stitch if your count is off, and with knitting, you're up a creek without a paddle. If you accidentally miss a stitch, you got to take the whole row out. That's a good idea, Anita. Yeah. Right, Mindy? Yeah, I don't know about yarn in the right hand. I'm going to have to get some details on this. I haven't, her work is amazing. Jody just recently started knitting. She was crocheting for a while, but she just recently started knitting, and she sent me some pictures of her sweater that she's making, and I am absolutely in awe of how quickly she caught on. It looks gorgeous. I mean, she's doing great, great work for being a beginner. Okay, Linda, fireworks are 3 days around any holiday. Okay. Huh. Oh, can you add stitches with knitting, Catherine? Oh, well, see, like I said, I'm talking out of my ass. Because I did not know that. I thought you were just screwed if you dropped a stitch. Oh, Tammy, you can do some things left-handed. I'm not that way. I am right-handed and I am right-handed. Not even like a little bit of dexterity with my left hand whatsoever, which is odd because you also have you have a dominant hand, but you also have a dominant eye, and as a hunter, it's important to know what your dominant eye is because that is the eye that you look through the scope with. So most people who are right-handed are also right eye dominant, but I am right-handed and left eye dominant, which makes hunting a little bit trickier because I need to like move my head basically to the other side of the barrel so I can look through the scope with my left eye. It's cumbersome. It's cumbersome. But it's interesting too. Now my son is left-handed, And he can do a lot of things right-handed. But I think that that's fairly common in left-handed people because the world is so geared towards right-handers. So like when he was a kid, before we knew he was left-handed, like a baseball mitt, we bought him a right-handed baseball mitt. His first set of golf clubs when he was 3 years old, we bought him right-handed golf clubs. His first bow was a right-handed bow. Now his crossbow is left-handed and his rifle is left-handed. But before we knew, so he can do a lot of things with his right hand, even though he's left-handed. Also, video gaming. He does a lot of video gaming with his right hand as his dominant hand, just because that's the way the controls are defaulted to, on the game setups. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, Jody did. I couldn't believe when Jody did this. So she started knitting this sweater, and I thought it looked gorgeous. I thought it was looking absolutely fabulous. So she texts me one night. We were texting, and she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I frogged the whole thing and started over." I'm like, "You what?" I couldn't believe it. She had about this much done already on that sweater. And she frogged the whole thing and started over because she had dropped some stitches. I couldn't believe it. You'll have to get in touch with Catherine, and she can tell you how to add stitches. Oh, you're right-handed, left-eye dominant too, Tammy? That's interesting. Oh, Paul is going to explain us about the fireworks. Neighborhoods do fireworks on 4th of July. The city does the big, gigantic fireworks on Labor Day. Oh, okay. So it's a community thing. I had never heard of that. I didn't know that communities did fireworks for Labor Day. I've Now our community has done them before for and we have a annual holiday lighting ceremony when they light up like the water treatment plant and all of the city hall and stuff, and the tree lighting ceremony or whatever. They'll do fireworks that night, but other than that and 4th of July, that's the only time our town does fireworks. Tammy's older son is left-handed for eating and writing, but does all of his sports shooting right-handed. That said, he's very good left-handed in all those things as well. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, Nate eats left-handed and writes left-handed, but he definitely does a lot of things right-handed for sure. But he does shoot with a left. He has a left-handed crossbow, and his rifle is left-handed. I should let's see. One of my twin girls. Oh, V, I didn't know you had twins. She's right-handed and left-eye dominant, and an excellent shot too. I'm a pretty good shot too, surprisingly. I don't know why surprisingly, but I am a pretty good shot. Oh, that's cool, Tammy. You too. Neat. Right, good practice, Jody. Definitely. Yeah, and I guess it would be good practice. I know the first time that when I got back into crocheting as an adult, the very first thing I did, I made a blanket. Was my very first make, and I'll forever cherish this blanket, even though it's ugly as sin. But I will forever cherish it because of what I learned. And I did the first quarter of the blanket in single crochet. No, 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 no. That's a lie. I did the first quarter of the blanket slip stitching. I was just slip stitching. I thought I was single crocheting, and I got super far before I figured out from watching videos that I was just slip stitching. I wasn't picking up a loop, and I wasn't yarning over and pulling through. I was just slip stitching. So then I switched to single crochet. So then I did the next quarter of the blanket in single crochet. And then I learned how to half double. So then I did the next half or quarter and half double. And then I did the remainder in double. So I did a whole blanket that way. It is ugly. Catherine, I might hit you up actually. You know, Mindy and I, we go on these yarn crawls or shop hops or whatever, you know, these or the fiber festival or whatever. We go to all these yarn stores, and they always have samples of people's work in the yarn stores, and some of the knitting products are so absolutely gorgeous. They're just so beautiful. And every time I see them, I think to myself, okay, I'm gonna try knitting again. I'm gonna give it one more try. But I have yet to do that. But I do want to. It's right. It's on my list. It's on my list of things to learn, right up there with quilting. If I can ever figure out how to run the damn sewing machine, I got to figure out how to run the damn sewing machine before I can do any quilting. One of these days, though, one of these days. That was a comedy of errors. Anybody who was there that night, who was here that night on my live when I tried to set up my sewing machine. Whew, that was messy. Yes, Jody, I do remember your first crochet. Yes. And remember how foreign it felt at first, and you thought that your tension was so bad and everything, and now you're an old pro at it. It's easy enough to learn. You could learn anything if you set your mind to it. I tell myself that, but that sewing machine still intimidates the hell out of me. So we've got the party tomorrow. So here's what happened with this party. We decided when we were camping last month that we were going to do this party. We used to do a party every Memorial Day Sunday and Labor Day Sunday. And we quit doing it. And so when we were camping this year, we decided that we wanted to have a Labor Day party this year. So we came back from camping and we let everybody know that we were going to be having the party. And everybody's all excited about it. And so I decided, okay, I told myself last weekend, I told myself on Sunday last weekend, all right, on Monday morning, I'm going to start cleaning up the house, and I'll do it slowly. You know what I mean? Like I'll pick one area to work on that day, you know, and then the next day. So I didn't have a bunch of stuff to do all at the same time. That sounds reasonable, right? I mean, that sounds like how a normal person would behave. Which would have been great if we were dealing with any sort of a normal person, but we're not. We're dealing with me. And everybody knows I do my best work under pressure. So Monday turned into Tuesday, and Tuesday turned into Wednesday. Wednesday turned into Thursday. Thursday turned into Friday. So last night I decided, okay, today's the day. It's Saturday, you know. Saturday's going to be the day. I'm going to get everything done on Saturday. And then when I go live Saturday night, that'll be my reward for a day of hard work and having gotten everything done. And that sounded reasonable too. Nate went over to his girlfriend's house today, and Jeff had to go to a family party with his parents. And I said, go ahead and go. He wasn't going to go. He was going to stay home. And I said, go ahead and go, because that'll give me a chance. I'll be more productive. I'll get more done if you're not here, right? Well, I got more done, all right. I got more done on my crochet and my sweater. That's about the only thing I got done. Yeah. So I reasoned that away with, okay, I'll just get up extra early tomorrow morning and I'll just do it all tomorrow. And so that's where we're at right now. I got to get up super early tomorrow morning so I can do all of the work that I should have been doing all week. The only thing that I did do, and I told you guys about my story of how I screwed myself out of my paycheck this month by not filling out my pension paperwork on time. And I told you it was all Jeff's fault because Jeff pays the bills, so I don't even look at the mail because he pays the bills and nobody said to me anything. So I hadn't seen the paperwork come for the retirement information that they needed. Well, that is the one thing I did do today. I tackled the pile of mail. Now, Jeff, when he goes through the mail, he plucks out the bills and leaves the rest, including all junk mail. So there's this pile of mail, right, that is on the counter, the end of the counter. And so I'm like, all right, I'll go through all this mail. It took me forever to get through all the mail. I want you guys to take a guess and tell me at the bottom of the pile, what was the oldest piece of mail that you think was piled on the end of my counter? Mindy, you can't guess because you know how big the pile was. But what do you think and this is shameful. This is absolutely shameful. Oldest piece of mail. How old do you think the oldest piece of mail on the end of my counter was? I'll wait. Yes, Susan, the potato salad. You know what? Thank you for holding me to the truth on that. Potato salad is better the second day, which is why I was supposed to make it today. But I have an excuse for that too. Just ask me. I've got an excuse for everything. My excuse for that is that Jeff was supposed, because I'm making quite a big batch because we're having quite a few people over. So I don't have a bowl big enough to mix it all in. And I like to mix everything together so that, the flavors are evenly dispersed. So Jeff was supposed to buy me one of those disposable foil trays that you get like for roasting a turkey. And he forgot it at the store yesterday. So he was going to go back to the store tomorrow morning to get that and a couple other things that we had forgotten, and to get the ice because he, obviously wasn't going to get the ice till the day of the party. So it was Jeff's fault that I couldn't do the potato salad today. Okay, so let's see. We're going to look at, we've got February, May, June, December 2022, January, February, May 2020. Sherry, I'm not that bad. March 2022. Well, 3 of you are right. February 3rd. February 3rd was the oldest mail sitting on my counter. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I am a total loser. Total loser. Oh, well. I mean, we don't use that end of the counter for anything. It's not like it would, Oh, Mindy was going to guess January. It was this year, Tammy, this year. what can I say? I'm a busy lady. I got lots of stuff going. That's the excuse I give Jeff all the time. He laughs about it. I would have done that today, but I was super busy. Got a lot of stuff going. Oh, and I'm going to be actually super busy. I'm super excited about this news. I also have some news. So, for the past 2 years, I have been lucky enough to be able to go to the Lone Star Retreat, which for the past 2 years has taken place in Missouri. This year they're moving it back to Texas. So I initially didn't register for it when they did the alumni registration because at that time I thought I had to save money for Maddie's wedding and I just wasn't going to go to any retreats all year so that I could save, money for the wedding. But since there's not going to be a wedding, when I found that out, I went ahead and registered or went on the wait list for both the Lone Star Retreat and the Red Boot Retreat, which is a no frills retreat in February, also in Texas. And I got a call last week that there was a cancellation and I made it off the wait list for the Lone Star Retreat. So I'm super excited. At the end of September, or the third week of September, I get to go down to near San Antonio to go to the Lone Star Retreat this year. So I'm super excited to see the friends that I've made over the years from Texas and who I don't, see other than those retreats, like Marissa, Marissa McCartney, who puts on the retreat. Her sister's not coming this time, which is too bad because I love her sister. Her sister's just a huge sweetheart. Not that Marissa isn't, but I'm gonna miss Tammy. And there's a lot of other people, so I'm really excited. And then since it's in San Antonio, that's only a couple of hours away from Houston, where Kara, the principal painter, lives. So I got in touch with her, and I'm actually going to fly into Houston, and she's going to pick me up, and I'm going to ride to San Antonio with her and Brandy. So that is going to be super fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I got an awesome deal on a flight and a hotel because I had to. It was way more expensive to get. The flight timing I couldn't get in. They didn't have flights that arrived at the times that I needed on the day of the retreat, so I had to come in a day early. But I got an awesome deal on a flight and hotel. So I already booked my flight and everything, and we're all set to go. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, Jody, you're right. It probably was about then. The kitchen's been finished for, I was thinking about that. The kitchen's been finished for at least a year, though, because I was just looking at pictures in my memories the other day on my phone, and I have a picture of Maddie's birthday last year, which Maddie's birthday was Thursday. And a picture from Maddie's birthday last year, and we were sitting in the completed kitchen. So the kitchen's been done for at least a year. Oh, Paula, that doesn't sound good. 15 a day from every insurance company in the area? Yeah, screw that. And they make that stuff so confusing. The wording of it, they make it seem um, like, it's like they're predatory. They're like counting on the fact that they can deceive you. They make it seem like you need them when really you don't. Speaking of deceiving people, has anyone watched the documentary on, I think it's on HBO Max, it's called Telemarketers? Is it on HBO Max or Netflix? I'm not sure now that I say it, I'm not entirely sure which it's on. Anyways, it's called Telemarketers, and it's really, really good if you haven't seen it. It's about this company who was contracted with different fraternal order of police organizations nationwide who did their fundraising calling for them. And the FOP ended up getting like 10%. Well, it was other organizations, not just the FOP, but that's just one of the main ones they talked about. But they ended up getting 10% of what was collected, and the other 90% went to the telemarketing company. It was just awful. Just these people who had gotten, that they got this money from, it was terrible. They were just exploitative. It was a really good documentary. So I watched that this week. Oh, and then the other thing, I just started yesterday watching, I'm still watching Heartland, but I had to give it a rest because it was just too much warm and fuzzy. I just needed a break from Heartland. So I watched, last week, I watched the Vikings series again. I had watched it before when it came out, but I watched that again. And I loved that. I loved Ragnar Lothbrok. He was very good. I watched that again, but then someone had recommended when we were talking last time about what shows I should watch, someone had recommended Sweet Magnolias. So I started that yesterday. That's pretty good. I'm enjoying that. I think I'm in season 2 already of that. Supernaturals and Big Sky. What is Big Sky about, Jody? Oh, did anybody watch that show I was telling you guys about last time? I'm going to tell you again, you need to watch it if you haven't watched it. Behind Her Eyes. Yeah, Behind Her Eyes. Did anybody end up taking my recommendation and watching that? Because it was so good. It was really, really good. Big Sky's really good, Judy. I'm going to have to check that out. I will have to check that out. Yeah, I'm enjoying Sweet Magnolias. I mean, it's a little bit soap opera-ish for me. It's not my normal type of show, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's funny because last week when I was watching Vikings, Jeff was coming in and sitting with me in the evenings and watching TV with me, which he never does. Never, ever, ever does. I mean, he's either out in the pole barn or he's watching his TV in the back room. He never sits out front with me. But he was out with me every evening watching, and I was like, wow, it has been really nice spending this time with you. I've really enjoyed, you hanging out with me. He's like, yeah, maybe because you're not watching something that sucks, maybe if you watched more good shows, I would hang out with you more. I'm like, oh, okay. So I know now if I ever want to get rid of him, I just have to put on like Heartland or Grey's Anatomy or something like that, and that'll get rid of him. Oh, I didn't know Sweet Magnolias was a book too, Mindy. That's cool. I might read that because I bet you it'd be good, and I'd prefer to read than watch. Oh, Lori, are you all up to date, Lori, on Sweet Magnolias? You've seen the whole thing? I think there's 3 seasons. Are they still making it, or is it finished? Does it conclude at the end of the 3rd season? Out of curiosity. Because, like I said, I just started watching it, and I'm in the second season. So maybe I started it a couple days ago. Because there's no way I could have watched a whole season in 2 days. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Vikings is good. Vikings is awesome. I loved Vikings. And you know what? And it's hard though because I loved Ragnar. Like he was super cool. But then when he started with the drugs, I I started really not liking him anymore. And does anybody know, because they never really said what it was that he was using? Does anybody know what substance it was? That just that it was a traditional Chinese herbal remedy, but does anybody know what it supposedly was? Oh, Joe, you've only got one episode left to watch. See if special announcement. So, like I said, I was rewatching Vikings because I watched it, when it first came out. So this was the second time I watched the series. And as you guys may or may not remember, I am a weirdo. Well, you probably do remember that. But I'm a weirdo when I watch shows, in that I never want to watch the final episode of anything, of any series, because I feel like I'm losing a good friend when the series is over. So I feel like if I don't watch the final episode, then my friends are still there waiting for me. Well, so I had never seen the end of Vikings, but I did something that I never do, and I watched the final episode. I watched the whole series. So, yep, I broke my own rule. I'm evolving. I'm evolving. Mushrooms? What? Oh, was it mushrooms, Mindy? Peyote? See, Jess, I was thinking opium too. Yes, Gail, I was thinking opium. Um, Thank you, Jess, for agreeing with me. You're the first person that's ever not told me I'm a weirdo. But yeah, I was thinking opium, but then I was thinking, and this is just how my mind works. Um, if they were in Scandinavia, would she have been able to grow poppies? Is the environment, such that she would have been able to grow the poppies to manufacture the opium? Or was it possibly coming in on a trade ship? So that's where my mind went when I started thinking opium. But then I also wondered, because did you notice that when he was doing that, when he was chewing those bundles, his lips and mouth turned red? So that made me wonder too what it could have been. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not familiar with opium, so I don't know. Maybe opium does that. Although there was this one time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Dale's thinking. All right, good. Dale's got his thinking cap on. Jess says, I wish I never watched the end of Roseanne, The Sopranos, and The Golden Girls. Okay, so I never watched Roseanne, so I didn't have to worry about that. I did watch Sopranos, and I did not watch the end. So that's still a cliffhanger for me. Don't anybody ruin it, because I still don't know what happened at the end. Um, the one, I also never watched the end of Raising Hope. I loved Raising Hope. And I didn't watch the end of that either. I try not to watch the last episode of anything. I'm looking for J's right now, and I can't find my J's. Jay, where are ya? I think I've had too much caffeine today because I'm sitting here bouncing my leg. So maybe I shouldn't drink, especially if I want to go to bed early tonight. I probably should not have any more Diet Coke. Well, I still can't find the J's, so we'll just move on to these arrows. But I've gotten almost a whole section done tonight, but while I was watching Mindy's live and then doing this, so that's pretty good. But you know what I didn't do, and this is super foolish of me, and it just dawned on me. For Chuck Along, your canvas has to be less, or can't be more than 50% completed. And I think that I was about exactly at 50% before I started this section. And now I've done a section and I didn't take my picture yet and put my picture up. I don't know. I might have to do some fancy measuring and see where I'm at after the end of this section. Yeah, right, Dawn? I hate watching the end episodes. Me too. Mindy said, don't make me think. Dale said, don't make me think. Don't watch the end of Sopranos. Okay, I won't. I won't. Oh, there's a Talking Sopranos podcast. Interesting. I'm about to stop watching General Hospital. Every character has a depressing situation and there's nothing wholesome in it. General Hospital has been on. How long has that been on? That was on. My grandma watched that when I was a kid. Are they still the same families? I mean, I'm sure, a different generation of the same families, but same families? Yeah, Gail, I don't care about prizes. You know what? And that's commonly what I end up doing this for events. Like I did it for Smashing the Specials. I worked on special drill projects. I did them, but I never posted my pictures. So, like, I participate in the event, but without fully participating. I do the work, but I don't do the entry, which is fine with me. Which is just fine with me. Oh, okay. Christopher and Bobby Bacala discussing every episode. Interesting. That would be really cool. Yeah, that would be a good thing to watch. So we are going to have so much food tomorrow because everybody wanted. I'm making apple crisp, baked beans, and potato salad. Jeff is cooking hot dogs and brats. And then we also he made a batch of his famous salsa. So we have chips and salsa and regular potato chips and dip. My sister is one of my sisters is making taco salad, which I love. I absolutely love taco salad. And my other sister is bringing her famous homemade macaroni and cheese. And my daughter Emily is bringing corn on the cob and a jello cake. Maddie's bringing cookies, because I had to pick something she could buy at the store because Maddie is in no way domestic. My stepmom is bringing fruit. And my mother-in-law is bringing, I think, a chicken pasta salad. So we are going to have just tons and tons and tons of food. I love party food. Party food is the best. That's probably what I'm looking. You're getting old when you're having a party and you're looking more forward to the food than to the drinking. That's when you know you're getting old. But we've got the pool is still open. The water's a little bit cold because of Jeff blames Canada for our cold pool this year. He says that the Canadian wildfires had the fact that it was smoky all summer in Michigan, that the sun didn't shine enough on the solar cover to warm up our pool water. So he blames our cold pool on Canada. But the pool's still open and we are going to play cornhole. Jeff has 2 sets of cornhole boards. And then we have the axe throwing station. So we'll do some axe throwing and some fishing and a bonfire. We're going to make some campfire popcorn. So that'll be fun. And then s'mores, of course, because you can't have a campfire without s'mores. So it should be a good time. And I think the weather's going to be perfect. So, but it's been a long time since we've hosted anything. As a family, we kind of alternate holidays for hosting. And I host Thanksgiving, but I don't, in the past few years, we haven't done it at my house. We do it at my friend Jennifer's house. So even though I do most of the cooking, it's not at our house. So we haven't hosted a party in a very long time. So it's going to be, it's going to be exciting. I'm a little bit nervous, I got to say. I haven't worn my hostess hat in a long time. I just needed 2 of you, and you guys keep jumping out of there. There we go. Linda, you did specials, didn't post either? Oh, okay, Marianne, the cat special that Maddie was working on. Gosh, it came from a budget company. I would have to go back, and I'm sure it's something I unboxed from someone. But God knows how long ago it was and who it was. And I don't keep track after I've done the unboxings. I don't write on the canvases or anything who it was from. I could give you the the number from the top of the canvas, and maybe that's searchable on some of the sites. I don't know. But I don't have that now. I'll do that next time. I'll grab it and do it next time I'm live. That painting's out in the camper right now. I worked on it for Maddie while we were camping. Yeah, Gail, that's a good idea. That's my most unfavorite part of making potato salad is waiting for everything to cool. So it's waiting for the potatoes to cool. Because then you don't want to add the mayonnaise and stuff to hot potatoes. That's just gross. But Gail, here's a question for you. If you do that, would you leave them covered in water overnight in the fridge? Because if you didn't do that, wouldn't they turn brown? Would they turn brown, I guess, is because I know apples, like when you peel an apple, because I was thinking about peeling the apples tonight too, so I wouldn't have to do all that tomorrow for making the apple crisp, but they turn brown after you peel them. I just don't know if the potatoes would do that too. Sherry, I love taco salad too. Yes, I'm mad about that too. But here's an interesting take on taco salad, and I had never had this before I met my husband. So, and maybe you guys, maybe this is more common than I think. So, in my family with taco salad, we always made it using red French dressing. Well, Jeff's mom makes it, and she uses ranch dressing and red French. And it is absolutely delicious. It is so good. I don't know if anybody else does it. I had never heard of it being done like that before, but it's yummy. Jody's bringing seafood pasta. All right, you better get on the plane right now, girl, if you're going to make it. Jess, your pools are super hot. Yeah, right, Mindy. Yes, we're going to have fishing and axe throwing. Yep, it does sound like an episode of Vikings. And they might actually forge too if it's not too hot. They might break out the forge. You never know. My nephews might want to forge. So maybe they'll break the forge out. Oh, and I know, and you know, Nate's been getting into welding lately, but he doesn't have, apparently there's different kinds of welding. There's stick welding and MIG welding. I might be screwing that up, but there's two different kinds of welding. And Nate's been doing the less expensive one. Well, my brother-in-law is a welder, and so he is going to show Nate some tricks. So Nate's going to get a welding lesson tomorrow too from my brother-in-law. So he's excited about that. General Hospital has been on for 60 years. Wow, Paula, that is crazy. 60 years is forever. All right, good night, Tammy. I know, isn't it great getting out of hosting, Jess? Yes. I remember, I used to love hosting. Now I'm like, meh. Oh, you want to do it at your house? Okay, great. What can I bring? That sounds lovely. Ooh, Donna Crystal Dragonfly sounds pretty. Yeah, if there's a number on top. Yep, exactly, Marianne. Oh, okay, Dawn. Put lemon juice on the apples and they won't turn yellow. But would that affect the taste of my apple crisp? Just wondering. Because I don't want it to be too tart. Although my recipe does call for an awful lot of sugar. And we're using apples from our trees. So they have a tendency, because we don't spray our trees or anything, they have a tendency to brown a lot quicker than store-bought apples even. Put the potatoes in water and refrigerate overnight. Okay. Okay. Gail says raw potatoes turn brown, boiled don't usually. Okay. For apples, mix lemon lime soda and a little lemon juice. Dip the cut up apples in the mixture and seal in Ziploc plastic bag. Keeps the brown away. Okay, good tips. Good tips. Thank you, guys. Learn something new every day. I miss having my grandma around because my grandma was always good for teaching me stuff like that. Okay, recommended damp towel on top of the bowl or container. Okay. Exactly, Jess. Not if you put enough sugar. Woohoo! All right, good night, Brenda. Thank you. Or in water for potatoes. Okay, Gail. All right. So yeah, it should be a fun time. I hope that you guys, I actually, a few of you guys are dipping out. I think I'm going to actually dip out a few minutes early too then. Get my body to bed so that I am bright-eyed and bushy-tailed first thing in the morning. I set my alarm for 7. so I can get up and get the rest of my cleaning done and get my cooking done, and I will let you guys know next week how the party went. So hopefully a good time will be had by all. We've already have people planning on spending the night, so I think it's going to turn into a late one. We're going to be partying like rock stars. We used to on our parties that we had for Memorial Day and Labor Day. Our local radio station does a countdown of the best classic rock songs in history, and they do the countdown all weekend long. And so getting to the best songs was happening, Sunday night. So we used to sit up by the bonfire all night Sunday night and party and listen to the classic rock countdown song or countdown program. I will not be doing that this year. I'm too old. All right, good night, Jody. All right, good night, everybody. Okay, let's got one more tip. Put in water, drain early, or dump on the towel after draining so you don't have a soggy salad. Yeah, yep, definitely. Yeah, Jess, you're right. They know so much and take so much knowledge with them. You're right. Absolutely. All right. Good night, friends. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you later on in the week. Have a great long weekend. All right. Good night.